Do you think that Lord Tensai will be something in the future? The Miami crowd and the Washington crowd weren't so into him. I mean, nothing is so special about him right now. I tend to agree with you on that. I think that part of the problem is his gimmick. It feels like something out of the 1980s or early 90s. I'm not so sure it really fits in with 2012 WWE. Now, of course, you got to give him some time. You got to give the audience a chance to get introduced to the character and learn his move set and learn how he acts. So it's really hard to say with just 2 weeks gone by since he debuted. But it is troubling. I definitely thought it was a bad sign when the Miami crowd, they were, let's put it this way, they were hot for everything except for Lord Tensai. They did not give a damn about him. And if your diehard fans don't care about the character, I mean, how is your casual fan going to feel? So I thought that was a really bad sign, and I did the poll on NoDQ.com. Do you think the Lord Tensai gimmick will be a success in WWE? And 60% voted no. But like I said, time will tell. We have to give the guy a chance, and we'll see where things go from here. Hey Aaron, I'm in no way a Randy Orton fan, but what is going on with him? The last two Mania matches have all been a last-minute idea, and he is supposedly the #2 guy in the company. Do you think he should go back to a heel role? Yeah, he's not even the #2 guy at this point. I mean, CM Punk leapfrogged him quite a while ago. And ever since going to SmackDown, I mean, Randy Orton started off good with the feud with Christian, but then he kind of floundered a little bit in the feud with Wade Barrett, and then they just threw that feud together with Kane. So Randy Orton hasn't really been doing a whole lot lately. And part of it is WWE's trying to build up some new talent. So at some point, the top guy, the established guy, has to take a step back a little bit so the new guys can have a chance. So, I mean, that's what's going on with Randy Orton right now, and perhaps you could turn him heel. That'd be a great way to freshen him up. He's been a babyface for the past 2.5 years now, and quite frankly, I think he's a lot better as a heel. I think that his face run has been somewhat of a disappointment. I just don't think the Viper character fits as a babyface, but that's just my personal opinion. So yeah, you could turn him heel, put him in there with Sheamus, do a feud there for the world title. I mentioned this before, you could always move him back to Raw and give him a fresh start there. So there's a lot of things you can do with Orton, and I think he'll be okay in the long run. Why is WWE hiring all the indie guys? Chris Hero, Tyler Black, Robinson Creed, all of a sudden. The bottom line is WWE knows they need to create new stars. Bringing back The Rock and bringing back Brock Lesnar is just a quick fix. WWE is trying to think long term, and FCW has worked to a degree in terms of creating new stars, but they need to look further than that. You need to go to the indie circuit. You need to look at wrestlers, and you need to look at announcers too, for that matter. Perhaps bring back Tough Enough. WWE will benefit from using all different kinds of sources to scout new talent. So I think it's a good thing. There's a lot of very talented performers on the indie circuit, and I think it's great for WWE, and hopefully something works out for them, because there's only so many legends you can bring back. I mean, eventually you're going to run out of Rocks and Brocks that you can bring back, and by the time that comes around, you really need to have some new talent that you can push and carry the company for the future. Hey yo, do you think WrestleMania is better in a large enclosed stadium or an outdoor one? It seems like in outdoor stadiums, as NFL teams generally agree, Seattle excused, the noise kind of flutters away instead of bouncing around. That's definitely a downside to running in the open air stadiums, the fact that it hurts the crowd heat a little bit. And that's one advantage to running in a smaller building like 15,000 people. I mean, they're all close together. It's a more intimate feel. But for WrestleMania, it's good to have it in the outdoor stadium because it is WWE's Super Bowl. And when people tune in and they see 70,000 people there, it really feels like this is a big deal. So just on that alone, it's good for WWE to run in the stadiums, and just hopefully they can have the sound equipment working at full capacity, and they can get the crowd noise in there. This year, I thought the crowd heat was very good for the most part. The only match where I think it suffered was CM Punk and Chris Jericho, and that's just because of the way the match was positioned. So it really had nothing to do with the acoustics of the building and the sound and all that.